So, this is another review about a game called Carrion. Carrion? Carrion? It's Carrion. Fucking, I had to look that up like 40 times just to pronounce it right, brother. Anyway, this is gonna be a lot less structured, so it's just gonna be me reading through my notes and giving my thoughts on it. Just kind of like, meh. It won't be as structured as like the Subnautica video or any of the other videos in the past. Anyway, so I'm gonna just go by my notes and we'll just go from there. I got my map design. The map design was drab and confusing to me, and like, I'm talking about the overworld here because some of the like other areas, like you can go into the botanical gardens and you can go into the underwater lab and you can go into like a lot of these other places, and they're very visually distinct, but like everywhere looks the same in these places a lot of the time. You kind of have to go by the level layout, and even then it's really hard to tell the difference. And the overworld is so bad with this. Like, they have a little bit of visual indicator. Like, they have this underground mine area that can help you distinguish it, and they have this they have like ferns and stuff growing next to the botanical garden entrance, and they have water all over the underwater lab area. But it still stands that it's really hard to understand. It's really hard to like figure out where everything is, which really sucks when you're going for the DNA capsules, which are the best part of the game. Level design, I think it was pretty good. It was pretty interesting, especially with the DNA capsules and stuff, like the extra ones, not the cool ones, not the new ones that give you like that you need to progress through the game. The ones that give you like basic dumb shit that you don't really need. It's pretty good. Like, I think it could be better. I think a lot of these rooms you could just run in as the biggest monster you can and just rip everything apart. It's very rare that you actually had to use your brain for a lot of these. And if you did, it made it a lot better, but as it stands, it wasn't the greatest part of the game. But it was fun. This game is a sadist wet dream, though, because I literally have a note here that literally just says sadist wet dream. But yeah, the screams, the crunches, the horror, general horror, and you being a monster and you ripping people apart and getting some enjoyment out of it. And I have in parentheses here joke about me being a sadistic monster, but animation style, it's pixelated, so it really helps with the dehumanization of every single person just to rip apart without any concern for them. It helps you not feel any empathy for these things. I mean, most people wouldn't, but you know. So the sound design, it's forgettable as these things. It's pretty forgettable. It's pretty good and foreboding, but like I pretty much forgot that it was even there. Where like in something like Shapes and Beats, which I just got and I'm having fun with, but Shapes and Beats or something like that, the music is kind of right there and you can hear it really well. Which, I mean, yeah, I think a forgettable soundtrack's pretty good, especially for a game like this where it doesn't really need a lot of sound, or it doesn't need like it doesn't need music. It needs the horror sounds of crunching and screaming and all those horrifying sounds. The DNA capsules, like the essential ones, are okay. Like they make for fun puzzles. Like a lot. Like there are a lot that I really enjoy. There is one that is in the underwater lab where you have to use your tiny boy form to shoot cobwebs, and then you have to use parabellum. I think that's what it's called. Basically, where you take over someone to flip a switch. It's really cool. I really enjoy it. It's a really good puzzle, but they're not like, there is one ability that is completely buttfuck useless. I don't know why it exists. I think they just did it for an extra slot on the medium-sized monster, because they go in medium or small, medium, and large. And the small one gets invisibility and a cobweb to shoot that can flip levers. The medium guy gets a tackle, and then he gets spikes. He just grows spikes, which means it's better for combat, and if you're to run around at people and kick their shit in, that works, I guess. But it's just not fun. Like, you could just it's just not good. You can become the large monster, and then use this exact same ability without any energy cost. But like it's better because it's, you know, without an energy cost, and it rips people apart and brings them towards you. So it's just easier to use than the other one. And you can use it on the big mech guys. So, but like, and then there's also the cartoning in the big boy form, which gives you more room for destroying other structures, which is pretty cool. I was really struggling though with like these little spear things. Those spears, they respawn instantly, and I've died to those spears respawning instantly so many fucking times because I've just like, I have like a little piece of my flesh just in their area and die, and I get so sad, which seems to be more of a me problem, but I thought it was worth mentioning so you can watch me die. Speaking of the character design, it's pretty alright. Like, they have different enemies and like guys to kill. Like, they have the flamethrowers, the mechs, the average Joe, and then in the DLC they have shotgun guy and a few different guys. They have a decent selection of guys to keep the combat interesting, and I think it's alright. I think the mechs are the most interesting part. I think they really change up the gameplay. And I like how you can use your ability, which I didn't talk about in the last segment, the Parabellum. You could take over a mech and just kick the shit out of anyone in that fucking room. And it's really cool. I really like that. They also have the drones, which I was kind of torn on. They were just quite annoying to fight. Except for the one that had like the circle ones. Those ones were so easy to murder that like I never had trouble with them, except for in like one situation where I had tons of other guys to murder, and like it wasn't even the robot that was making the problem. It was just that I was too lazy to fucking murder the robot because I had other guys to murder. The flamethrower guy just makes me like wanna die. I feel like it's not a very fun mechanic to be burning alive. It makes sense for the whole thing parody, but I don't like it too much. Anyway, we're gonna move on to DNA capsules, the non-essential ones. You can get a few different abilities. You can get fire resistance twice, and you can get echolocation, which means that if you roar, you can get like little bloop bloop from dead bodies, which is cool, I guess. Energy, you can get energy cap upgrades in like these tiny increments up to 4 times. You can get 2 more prehensile tentacles, and they have the best puzzles in the game. I love these puzzles. They're really cool. They're the most interesting part of the game, and I really wish they did more with these types of puzzles because they're really fun. Like my favorite one was this. You had this kind of like snail shell look, and in the middle you had to do some fun stuff to get to the DNA capsule, and I really loved it. It really helped jog my brain, bro. My tiny brain cells. My brain cells aren't tiny. It's the brain that's tiny. But anyway, all right, we're gonna go. Okay, now I'm gonna talk about the story, and this isn't on the notes because it's a very forgettable part of the game. So you are the Thing, and I'm redoing this segment. I might sound different. My fucking phone went off, and it ruined the whole thing, and I was very sad. Anyway, so you are the Thing, and there's like this whole I guess they confirmed that there's Cyclopses and shit. I have no idea. They also confirmed like alien life and stuff in this universe. I don't know. Basically, you're an alien like thing. Like, you're basically just the Thing, and you are captured and put into a ton of pieces all over this facility. You kill, and you can't get out until you get the ability to turn into a human, which would be epic, you know, for the human race, I guess. So you spend the entire game getting all these abilities and cool things just so you can get to get back to the very beginning of the game that you walk past to get out and get your abilities, and then turn into a human you turn into like this creature thing that can turn into a human. I don't know what to call it. Like, you can basically mimic a human exactly. There's no way to tell the difference. So you walk out and you go out and kill all the people, and it's amazing. It's great. Everything's great. I'm pretty sure that's kind of it. I mean, like, I don't know all the story shit. It took a back seat because, like, I think the focus here is on the gameplay, which is really good. The gameplay is good. Just the story is kind of not necessary, which is a good thing. So this is editing Abe right now. I'm re-recording this because it was just wrong. So the DLC is really good. It's really good for what it is. It's 20 to 30 minutes of free content. It's really good. The shotgun guys are really interesting, like I talked about earlier. They're really fun, and they didn't do enough with these rooms though. That, like, they had this cool mechanic that everything in this specific area would just die if this one character died, which they just didn't use enough. Like, I think they should have done more with it. It was just an underutilized mechanic though. So I mean, but what are you gonna do about it? It was really fun for what it was, and it was really cool. So this is Future Abe back at it again, bro. Doing another post something, I don't know. I'm doing it again. So this segment was supposed to be about how I couldn't find the fucking comic book. I couldn't figure it out. Well, I tried it one more time just to not look like an idiot, and I figured it out. So here it is. I recorded it. Here it is. So basically, it's like, it's a little pricey for what it is, but it's basically like 26 pages of this like web comic type thing, and it shows you promotional art and all this cool stuff behind, and some of this cool stuff behind the scenes. My favorite part is the little bit of lore behind it. I'm a really big lore nerd for all this type of shit, or how my friends would call it, lure. It's called lure now. We call it new lore. It's new lure now. Said, you know. That's only a joke that brother Justin's gonna get. But Justin, there you go, brother. So we got new lore. My favorite part here is the interview between the two guys, what is it called? The, like, what would you call him? The infested guy, and then the fucking I'm assuming he's like a security guard or some shit, or a general. And I very much enjoy that this creature has the capacity to talk through people, and then just does not give a shit and just kills the guy after a minute. But I think it was a cool comic. It was pricey from what I've seen. Like, I've heard from a lot of these like reviews that it's a little pricey for what it is, which I agree. $10 for this, a little pricey. I would knock it down to $5. And then like add the soundtrack into the mix. So like, honestly, if you put them both together, then it would be worth it. Like, if you put the soundtrack and the comic into the deluxe edition, then that would make it worth it, I think, because the soundtrack, I did it dirty. All right, like, listening to the soundtrack while reading the comic, and like listening to the soundtrack while I'm making this video, it slaps. I did it dirty. That was completely my bad. Don't listen to previous me. I'm an idiot. It took a backseat during the gameplay, but when you're actually just listening to it, it's a vibe, if that makes sense. So like, for the gameplay, it took a backseat instead of being really loud and in your face, like something like Subnautica, where it's really loud. It's in your face. But like, you know, it's there, you know what I mean? But like, something like this doesn't need that. It needs something very mellow and like with some dramatic stingers, to keep you in that mood of you're a monster and completely fucking everyone over, if that makes sense. Anyway, I've wasted enough of your time. What am I gonna give this game? I'm gonna give it a 7.5 out of 10. I think that's a pretty fair score. I don't know if it could be improved. I think the big thing is that they underutilized a lot of mechanics, right? It was a small game and made by an indie studio, so it's fine. I totally get it. It's a good game. No fucking shame in it. I'm just saying that they did have underutilized mechanics, and a ton of like, I really wish they used more of the puzzle mechanic. I really wish they stopped, like, at the end, they started just chucking enemies at you. Don't do that. It's, like, I get it. It can make the game a little bit more fun, but I really wish they did more with the puzzles. The puzzles were my favorite part of the game. I think the game would have done a lot better if they focused more on the puzzles. And, like, the combat wasn't bad either, don't get me wrong. I just think the game really shined when it was in the puzzles. But, so if they do any second installment or anything like that, I would say focus on the puzzles. Keep the combat encounters and everything. Like, I'm not saying drop the combat. Just focus. Have a bigger focus on the puzzles, because they were really fun, really cool, and really epic. I really enjoyed them, and I really enjoyed this game. It's a really good game. I love it to death. I'm probably gonna keep replaying it, just not anytime soon, because replaying it this time, I got a massive headache for some fucking reason. Anyway, I also forgot, I was about to forget this, but I need to give a shout out to Ray the Impale, because that's what she names herself, fucking dingus. Because she got mad at me, because I didn't fucking shout her out with all the other homies in the last video. And also, speaking of the last video, holy fuck, what are you apes doing? You're watching the Mordekaiser video? Holy fuck, 800 views? What are you doing? Holy shit. Like, I haven't been on this channel in a fucking while. Like, I don't just look at my channel, right? Because, like, I'm usually used to, like, radio silence for my channel. And then I fucking finally check up on it, and just tons of people have looked at my fucking Mordekaiser video. What in the fuck? I have fucking 25 more subscribers? What the fuck? This is so big, and I thank every single one of you for watching it. And any positive reinforcement you gave me, I fucking love it. Any criticism you could give me as well, that's great. I love you all to death. That was amazing. It made my fucking day. Thank you so much. But with everything there, I'm pretty sure we're done. Have a great day.